Are we live? So a Georgia judge just ruled yesterday, that Fani Willis will resign or must resign, I should say, or fire special counsel Nathan Wade in the Donald Trump Georgia election interference case. And guess what? In less than 24 hours, Chicago will move forward as of Sunday with its previously delayed plan to evict thousands of migrants from the city. And seatbelts saved passengers' life on a Boeing 737 jet that suffered an unexpected blowout, according to a new lawsuit. And guess what, guys? Hollywood, they're at it again. Never mind all the latest rumors swirling around about P. Diddy and Usher and many others. Ex-Disney star Gina Carano, she is now blasting the unforgivable sin in Hollywood for firing her. And like I said, Chicago, they're about to begin their mass eviction of migrants. So we got a lot to cover today, guys. I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday evening on this live. And before we even begin to get into this thing, I got a lot to share with you. All I ask is that you hit the like button for the video. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you appreciate the research that goes into putting these videos together, I just want to thank you guys so much for sharing this video. It really does help get the truth out there. So get this, guys. And let me know if you're able to see and hear me okay on this live. I totally appreciate you guys. I see you guys popping up in the live. Paul, Guadalupe, what's going on, brother? Terry. So a Georgia judge ruled Friday that Fani Willis will resign or fire special prosecutor Nathan Wade. A former CNN legal analyst by the name of Jeffrey Toobin is actually warning that Fani Willis's case against Donald Trump, it ain't going nowhere. So Toobin, he's a former federal prosecutor, and he's ultimately met with Gwen Keyes, who's a former district attorney in DeKalb County, Georgia. They discussed this election interference case against Trump in Georgia. Now, get this. So Toobin, they have conflicting views here. On the one side, you got Toobin saying that today was a very good day for Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind that Toobin is actually a former CNN analyst, right? And he's admitting this. He's admitting that it was a great day for Donald Trump, right? He went on to say that in the extremely unlikely event that this somehow staggers to trial in August or in the fall, think about this. There's another racketeering case in Georgia where, jury selection, not the trial. Then you got jury selection has taken a year. The case is never going to trial before the election, he said. And he went on to say that it's an embarrassment, all of this. Fani Willis was hung on, but she's hung on as best she can, but this case is not going anywhere. In fact, it's going nowhere very quickly. Now, Gwen Keyes, a former district attorney in DeKalb County, Georgia, she said that she respectfully disagreed with Toobin. Completely polar opposite viewpoints and perspectives on this. So Gwen says, I do not think that there's enough evidence to go forward. I think that particularly the timing in this case, while we have had one racketeering case that has gone on for a long time and taken a long time to get to a jury, that's an anomaly. In her 17 years as a state prosecutor, she's never seen it take 10 or 12 months to get to a jury. And in the last RICO case that she's aware of, DA Fani Willis taking the trial with 12 defendants, she was able to get a jury in about 4 weeks or about a month. So she thinks that the precedent that we should be looking at is the shorter time frame. Now, a Georgia judge just ruled. Now, let me know what you guys think. Do you side more with with Toobin, who's basically saying this case ain't going nowhere and Fanny's got nothing here, or do you side more with Gwen, who's basically saying that's an anomaly? Fanny's got this. Do you believe Fanny's got this, or is Fanny basically she needs to give it up? Let me know what y'all think. So anyway, a Georgia judge ruled on Friday that Fani Willis has to either step down from the case against Trump, or she has to fire special prosecutor Nathan Wade. So Willis was accused of having an improper relationship, an improper romantic relationship that she ultimately attempted to cover up with special counsel on the case, Nathan Wade. Now, Nathan Wade shortly resigned after that ruling. But what do you guys think about this? Like, is this Georgia case against Donald Trump not going anywhere? Is Fani Willis just, should she give up? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments. Now, get this. Chicago. So Chicago, they're looking to move forward tomorrow, less than 24 hours from now, on Sunday, with its previously delayed plan to evict thousands of migrants from city and state operated shelters, which is a move that has been met with a lot of outrage by advocates. Can you believe that? There's actually people who are against this eviction of the migrants. Are you guys for evicting migrants, or are you guys for bringing more migrants into the country? Y'all let me know on that one. But anyway, it's a move that has been met with a lot of outrage with advocates and fans of sanctuary cities and whatnot, and some local elected officials. And it's also been met with some confusion by migrants who will ultimately have to scramble to find other means of housing, or maybe they have to leave the country entirely. Who knows? But city officials said just yesterday that at least 2,026 people will be evicted from their current shelters by the end of April. Now, the first of those people will have to move out as of tomorrow. So overall, 244 migrants will be evicted by the end of the month, and the remaining 1,782 will have to leave throughout the month of April. But check this out.
Well, tempers are flaring in Chicago too, Jason. So let's move there, because as you often said, this migrates all on its own. People are fanning out all over the country. A Chicago City Council meeting that's going on right now, in fact, is all over massive illegal immigrant crisis in that sanctuary city. People who live there as American citizens are furious over the millions of dollars in resources going to the illegals, who so many communities there are in need. They need those resources. The video is going to look a little strange because we just took this. It's going on right now. So it's a Zoom, and you'll see the countdown a little bit, but just listen to the words.
Out of our communities, because they don't deserve to be there. Downtown has 3 to 4 illegal families on every block begging for work and selling Kit Kat bars after $1 billion was spent on them. Where is that money? Where is the money for the South Side and the West Side communities? Not another dollar for the illegals.
Where did that money go?
It's so bad, the city council members who are so concerned to donate their salaries to the cause like a real public servant should.
That's from a
Whoa. This is a heated debate here, and where did that money go? Did some under the table dealings take place, and politicians' pockets get lined? $1 billion, and they're still short on cash. I mean, like, what's up with this? Anyway, so the mass evictions, starting months after the city announced back in November that it was going to be limiting the shelter stays to 60 days and require migrants who reach that limit to find other housing or actually go to the city's landing zone for basically newly arrived migrants and replace the placement at another shelter. So basically, they're getting booted out of one shelter and they're going to have to sign up again. If not, they're just going to have homeless migrants littering the streets. Even worse. Now, get this, guys. The House just passed a bill that could lead to a TikTok ban if the Chinese owner refuses to sell. Now, I don't know if you guys realize, but the Chinese ownership of the TikTok platform is actually very, very small. You'd be surprised. It's actually not really even it's the majority of the ownership of TikTok is outside of China. So this is really interesting here. But the House of Representatives on Wednesday just passed a bill that would ultimately lead to this nationwide ban of the popular TikTok app that pretty much everyone uses. I think it's probably more popular for people who are under the age of 40 years old, but I think people all around, all ages use it, but user base is a little bit thicker under the age of 40. But anyway, so the ban of the popular video app TikTok, because of its China-based ownership, right? And basically they're saying that if the China-based ownership doesn't sell out of its stake, as lawmakers had ultimately acted on concerns that the company's current ownership structure is, they're looking at it as being a national security threat. So TikTok, which has like 170 million American users, it's wholly subsidiary owned by a Chinese technology firm called ByteDance. But again, the lawmakers are contending that ByteDance is beholden to the Chinese government, which could demand access to the data of TikTok consumers in the United States whenever it wants. So they're worried about China figuring out the latest dances here in the United States, I guess. Anyway, so the worry, according to them, stems from a set of Chinese national security laws that compel organizations to assist with their intelligence gathering. Yeah, anyway, so according to a new lawsuit, seatbelt has actually saved passengers' lives on Boeing 737 jet. This one particular Boeing 737 jet that had a massive blowout in the middle of the flight. More passengers who were aboard this Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 jet when part of the fuselage blew out. Now, this was back in January, just a couple months ago. More and more people are actually coming forward. And not only are they coming forward, but they're actually suing. So according to one who actually said that his life was saved by a seatbelt, I mean, can you imagine this, guys? Anyway, so the lawsuit, the latest lawsuit, which represents 7 passengers, was filed in Washington Kings County Superior Court just 2 days ago against Boeing, against Alaska Airlines, against Spirit Aerosystems, and like 10 other people. So basically, Quang Trung of Upland, California, he was sitting in the row behind where the side of the aircraft just tore away and left a door-sized hole on the Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 on January 5th. Now, the attorney who filed the lawsuit said air rushed out of the hole, pulling on Tran and other passengers nearby. The suction was so powerful that it tore Tran's shoes and his socks off of his feet. I mean, he said he felt that his body was lifting off of the seat, according to this information that was shared to the public. He went ahead and added that Tran's foot was hurt when it was jerked back and forth into the seat structure in front of him. I mean, wow, like this is crazy. You guys have been on an airplane before. I'm sure you guys have been on tons of flights, right? I mean, isn't this crazy? Can you imagine yourself being on an airplane, thousands of feet in the air? You're looking down at the clouds, right? If you got a window seat, you can look out the window and you can see that the clouds are beneath you, only to have part of your airplane come apart. I mean, and then you got this massive hole on the side of your airplane sucking everything out of the plane. I mean, this is scary. Oh my God. So, yeah. So ex-Disney star Gina Carano, she is blasting the unforgivable sins in Hollywood right now. So the Mandalorian actress, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mandalorian, but anyway, the Mandalorian actress, she's talking about her fight against Hollywood in a new lawsuit. And you got Gina Carano, the former star of the Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. I don't watch it personally, but anyway, she opened up about this public firing between her and Disney. So apparently Disney fired her. And, now there's this legal battle where she's basically waging against Disney and she's going in. So Carano, she's got a right libertarian, she's basically right libertarian leaning views, although she resists labeling her politics. She faced public backlash that ultimately resulted in her firing by Disney because of the tweets and because of her Instagram posts on some highly sensitive topics and, decisive topics like COVID-19 vaccinations, masking, Black Lives Matter, the transgender rights movement, and the results of the 2020 presidential election. Now, get this, guys. In this interview, she described this unforgivable sin in Hollywood as a person who wouldn't perfectly conform at a time when emotions were running wild in the world. Now, so at this point, Carano, she's looking to sue Walt Disney Company for millions of dollars in lost income over this alleged wrongful termination and discriminatory treatment due to her political views. Now, get this, Elon Musk got pulled into this thing. And I want to just take a second and just thank Michael's Auto Repair for the huge super chat. I really appreciate that. Uh, can I have wrench, please, Mr. Ron? Thank you so much, Michael's Auto Repair. So get this, Elon Musk got pulled into the mix here. So Elon Musk, obviously X Corporation, which is owned by Tech Mobile, Elon Musk, X Corp, formerly known as Twitter. He basically said that he's funded the suit as a part of its commitment to free speech. And I gotta love that. Elon Musk, he's got enough money that he don't care about a whole lot of people's opinions, right? He's harder to be bought off if he's able to be bought off at all. Hopefully he continues to stand for the people. So Elon Musk, he basically said, he pledged to fund her legal bills if she was unfairly treated by her employer due to posting or liking something on this platform X, talking about Twitter. So that's definitely what's up. And I think we're seeing a lot more of this, we're seeing the firefighters in New York City getting support and backing from attorneys that would normally charge thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, for legal representation. And we're getting more and more people standing up for what's right. And I really like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people who are getting bullied and people who have the power to stand up for what's right step in and say, hey, not my town. So, but can you believe this? Like companies firing their employees for their political beliefs, or firing employees, or putting them in a situation of, if they don't want to get jabbed, or, that they have to lose their jobs, or for liking certain posts on Facebook or Twitter. I mean, just unbelievable. Can you imagine getting fired for liking a post or on something on like Facebook or Twitter? That's just, anyway. So get this. So Michael Luttig, he's a former conservative judge. Now he's getting criticized. Essentially, he criticized the Supreme Court for their decision allowing Donald Trump to run for a second term, despite the challenges that are based on the 14th Amendment's insurrection ban. Now, Luttig, he's basically arguing that this decision is undermining democracy and is ignoring the 14th Amendment's purpose to disqualify those who threaten the Constitution. So the Supreme Court ruled that only Congress can enforce this disqualification. And this is exactly what Luttig is disagreeing with. He's seeing it as a failure to protect democracy from individuals who are deemed dangerous due to their actions against the Constitution. Do you guys think that Donald Trump is dangerous to the Constitution? Or do you think that Donald Trump is a help toward the Constitution to restore constitutional rights that have been trampled? Anyway, Luttig, he insists that disqualification or disqualifying insurrectionists is a measure to protect democracy, not an anti-democratic act. But here's the thing. Donald Trump was never convicted of insurrection. So I don't know what he's talking about. What do y'all think on that? So the winner of Tuesday's GOP Senate primary in Ohio will take on the longtime Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown in a key 2024 showdown. Oh, it's going down. So Donald Trump, he's aiming for a repeat performance. So 2 years ago, the former president backed J.D. Vance in Ohio's very crowded and combative Republican state nomination race, ultimately boosting Vance to victory in the GOP primary just a couple weeks later. But if we go ahead and fast forward to the present, and Trump has returned to Ohio this weekend. In fact, he was in Ohio just a few hours ago to once again support the Republican Senate candidate that he endorsed in the state's increasingly contentious GOP primary. So Trump, who basically earlier this week clinched the Republican presidential nomination and is now his party's presumptive 2024 nominee, he's basically headlined a rally in Dayton, Ohio today, Saturday, for businessman Bernie Moreno. So just hours ago, former President Donald Trump made an appearance to be able to campaign at the Dayton International Airport for U.S. Senate candidate Bernie Moreno. Mike Pence, on the other hand, he ran with Donald Trump in 2016. He ran again with Donald Trump in 2020. Well, 2024 is a different story. So in 2024, he's not even going to endorse Donald Trump, let alone run with him. So former Vice President Mike Pence, he's basically betrayed Donald Trump. He's turned his back on him, and he's making his feelings about this presumptive Republican nominee this year very, very clear. So just yesterday afternoon on Friday, Mike Pence came out and he said, hey, it should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year. Donald Trump is pursuing and articulating an agenda that is at odds with the conservative agenda that we governed during our 4 years together. So basically, he's saying that Donald Trump has veered course. Pence went on to say that, that's why he cannot in good conscience endorse Donald Trump in his campaign. So what do you guys think about Mike Pence saying that Donald Trump's agenda is, being against the conservative agenda? Do you support Pence? Do you support Trump on this one? Like what's really going on? And Starbucks, the investors of Starbucks have actually voted to drop the executive pay package that's tied to DEI amid some conservative pressure. So Starbucks Corporation shareholders approved just recently a plan to drop the bonus that's tied to the DEI goals of its executives and replace it with a more general workforce target, while also shifting more compensation to financial performance. So conservative activists have basically been targeting executive compensation that rewards leaders for meeting the DEI goals, because they contend that these kind of initiatives, they might actually encourage illegal hiring behavior to meet the company diversity targets. And I think we're seeing a lot more of this. In fact, it's part of a broader backlash against corporate diversity programs right after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that affirmative action in college enrollment is now considered illegal. So, they're not a fan of the affirmative action, and they're not the shareholders of Starbucks. The shareholders of Starbucks do not want this to continue to affect the compensation at the executive level. Now, Strive Asset Management, which is an anti-activism fund company, ultimately co-founded by former Republican presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy, sent a letter to Southwest Airlines Corporation in August warning it to end its executive compensation incentives for environmental and social goals. So Starbucks ain't the only one. In fact, Starbucks switch to talent avoids the term DEI, which has been weaponized by the opposition. Can anybody say woke? Meanwhile, still making it very clear that the company is seeking to broaden the pool of applicants. What do you guys think about this? Hit me up in the comment section down below. I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me jump in the comments. I haven't been ignoring you guys, but I definitely wanted to cover the topics real quick. I hate to get too sidetracked. So who do we have in here? Let me just see who do we have, where y'all watching from. We got Burkeville, Texas. What's going on? Jamie and Deborah says woke. Kenneth Thompson, Pence is two-faced. All right, Kenneth, I hear you. Agricon says everything woke turns to JJ Hi from New York. What's going on? We got Wesley Williams from Indiana. We got Queen from Paramount, California. What's going on? Rob Mr. Owick says, who is Pence again? Let's see. Ron, do you have a moderator? You need one. I probably do need a moderator. No, I don't have one to answer your question. Fed up patriot. Appreciate you asking. James Fournier. Hello, Ron. Jim from NJ from New Jersey. Appreciate you tuning in from New Jersey, James. Let's see. Kaya says Trump MAGA. Wow, the comments are like blowing up here, guys. The Thrasher says we need Trump yesterday. Let's see. So another CG says, what about Newsom and his crony Padera? That's a good question. Wesley Williams says Indiana doesn't need Pence back again. He can still live here, but I don't think anyone around is going to vote for him again other than Democrats. Okay. And hey guys, if you guys are in here, if you haven't already hit the like button, I would totally appreciate if you hit the like button. It just tells YouTube, hey, get this content out to more people. We need to spread the truth out here. There's not enough truth in this world. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for sharing this video. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this video on Facebook. A lot of you guys are sharing it on Twitter, also known as X. So I just want to thank you so much for doing that. You guys are absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Take care and be safe, y'all.